All right, pulling into Dunkin' Donuts through the drive-thru. Hi, I would like a large iced coffee with 3 cream and 3 Splenda. And this is the part where I stop and I get the exact change. Good morning. 85 and 2. And we're good. Favorite part of the day. Put the straw in there and get off the worky jerky. Oh man, does that taste good? The morning routine, it's only good when it's the same every day. I want this to taste the same every day. And it does, because it's Dunkin' Donuts and because they know what they're doing. They've been doing this for quite a while, and they know how to make iced coffee the way I like it, and I know how to order it specifically. I know how to have the exact change. I know how to make sure that it tastes the same every time because I asked for it in the right order. I asked for the iced coffee, not a coffee with ice. I had a friend once who told me he ordered coffee with ice, and they gave him a hot coffee and had ice in it. I'm like, I don't want that. I'm like, you got to order iced coffee. That's the difference. I've done this 1,000 times, and I'm not exaggerating here. I bet I have ordered this drink 1,000 times. I'm not kidding. Now, I can do a whole separate video about why 1,000 times of ordering a drink that costs $2.85 every day is a bad idea, because that costs you lots of money and it adds up, right? But that's the subject of a separate video. This video I'm going to talk to you about, and I think this demonstrates that morning routine very nicely, and that's what I want to talk about this morning, the morning routine. I get out and go to Dunkin' Donuts every morning. I order exactly the same thing. I say it exactly the same way. I pay for it the same way. And the end result is I'm happy with that, and the rest of my day goes smoothly. I get to work on time. Everybody's happy. It's built into the routine. That stopping there in the morning is built into the routine. The problems arise when you change your routine and you start to modify things. You start to change things. Now, because of that expense, right, because of all the money that goes into this, and there's a lot of expense with this, $2.85 every day, you multiply that over the course of a year, it's quite a bit of money. Oh man, can't talk and drink, but I'll sure try. You look for other ways to save those costs, right? And so I started making coffee at home. I started making iced coffee at home, and I experimented with different recipes. And I want to show you something real interesting. I'm not going to digress too much on this video, but we were sunny down at the bottom, and now I'm up at the top of the mountains here, and look, there's fog everywhere. Isn't this awesome? Pennsylvania, I hope it's beautiful where you are, and I hope you can appreciate that, because there is beauty everywhere. This is a beautiful country, and it's a beautiful world. We are so blessed on this planet. And I hope you can find special places, even on a highway, driving back and forth to work. I hope you can still find beautiful scenery along the way. When I started making my own coffee, ran into a bunch of problems. At first, when I would make that coffee, it was too weak, and I get to work and I felt like I didn't even have any coffee. I just sat there zoning out, and, trying to struggle to get through the day, right, and have to go get coffee to make up for it. And then, so I upped the recipe a little bit, and the next batch of coffee I made started to taste like it was too strong, right? All of a sudden now, I'm talking a mile a minute, and you start to notice this halfway through the morning. You're like, holy cow, I had a little too much coffee. So you have, these are, when you change the routine, you get into these little problems. Let alone when I'm pulling out of the driveway every morning, even though I'm making my own coffee and I got to sit next to me in a mason jar, sitting there, I can drink that coffee. I'm drinking that coffee. I still turn to go to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning instead of turning to go to work in the morning. The routine is off, and once the routine's off, especially when it's baked in, when it's something you do over and over and over and over and over, the minute you get off of that routine, things start to fall apart. Now, what does this have to do with crossbow hunting? I know. What does this have to do with crossbow hunting? It's very simple. What this has to do with crossbow hunting is going back to the live stream we did this weekend. On Saturday, I put a new string on bungee, sighted it in, right? Make sure it's still on at 20 yards. shot it at 10 yards to make sure it was safe. And when I was getting ready to shoot at 20 yards to dial the scope in a little bit and start to hone it in, what happened? I had to move the camera. My routine of cocking the crossbow, putting it on safety, putting the cocking rope in my left pocket so I know right where it is, sitting down, putting the crossbow up, getting it ready, loading an arrow, aiming, easing the safety off, instead of flicking it off, easing the safety off, and then taking that shot. That routine was interrupted. It was disrupted. How? I cocked the crossbow. I'm even talking about this while I was doing it. Cocked the crossbow, put the cocking rope back in my left front pocket, put the crossbow on safety, went and sat down, had to move the camera. Talking to you folks on the camera. Had to move the camera. And the end result is, I get out of that routine, and what happens? Boom. Forgot to put an arrow in. Boom. Dry fire the crossbow. There you go. So these things, it's that routine is very important. When I was first crossbow hunting, first started, I didn't have that same level of routine. It was all new to me. And I can still remember today, getting down in the maples, climbing up in a tree stand, some October morning in 2010 or 2011. It was like the first year or second year that I started hunting with a crossbow. Climbing up in a tree stand, got up there and I got the crossbow, pulled that up, I got it all situated, pulled the crossbow up on the rope, after I'd gone through my routine and realized I didn't have any arrows. The routine of getting on the back porch, setting all the gear up, putting the quiver in, and screwing that tight. That was part of the routine later on, but at that point I hadn't developed that routine. And got down there without any arrows. So now I had to undo the whole routine, get out of the tree stand, left all the gear there, walk back to the house after taking that scent-free shower, and walk back to the tree stand and get in there with the arrows and all that. So routine as it relates to crossbow hunting, very important. Have a good, healthy routine. I hope your routine is very similar. I don't care if yours is similar to mine. I hope it's something that you have, though, and that you practice, and that it benefits you in your crossbow hunting going forward this year. Thank you for taking part in Crossbow Appreciation Month. Thank you for watching this video if you've stuck around this whole time. I am almost to work, so I'm going to wrap this up. So it must be just about done, right? Because I'm almost to work. So I'm going to finish my coffee. I got about half of that left, and I'd like to finish that on the way. Normally on my routine of going back and forth to work, incidentally, I'm listening to podcasts, and I do, and music. I listen to an awful lot of music too. But I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I really like those podcasts. So let me know if you guys are into podcasts, what you listen to, what you don't. Let me know about your routine in the comments, all that good stuff. We can start a conversation about those things. I am getting there. So hope you've enjoyed the ride to work as much as I have. Until next time, which is tomorrow, all hail Bungie.